All right, let's talk about the actual process itself, the solve, and scale. And we'll start with step one, which is seeing, which means finding and validating unmet needs. And you have an interesting, observation about surveys. You're not a big fan of them. Can you tell us why?
Well, first, thank you for starting there, because too often I see, especially technology people, my faculty appointment is in the School of Engineering. I actually don't know anything about engineering. It's just where Brown happens to put my faculty appointment. But I'm surrounded by technology people, all brilliant people, inventing new molecules and nanotechnologies. But technology people especially, not only, but especially, fall into the trap that I call being a solution in search of a problem. And that's really dangerous. I understand the appeal and maybe seduction of new technology, but don't start at the point where you're creating something and then go searching for a problem to apply it to. If entrepreneurship is a structured process for solving problems, I say we better start by identifying what that problem is we're going to solve. In fact, Einstein had a quote that I include in the book. He said, if I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on the solution, I would spend the first 55 minutes defining the problem. Because once I've done that, I could spend the rest of the 5 minutes solving it very effectively.
Seems so obvious.
It does seem obvious, doesn't it? And yet, look around us and you see evidence of lots of kinds of products that are clearly dreamed up in a lab somewhere or a makerspace. And they look really cool, but they're not necessarily solving a problem. Right. And so the C step of the process is a step where you are being anthropological. You're observing and listening to people behaving normally in their own environments. It could be at their house, it could be in their office, it could be in a store, it could be in a hospital setting. Wherever they're behaving naturally, be an anthropologist and be empathetic. That means put yourself in someone else's shoes. Or when I teach in Japan to Japanese faculty, they share another metaphor they use, which is synchronize your hearts. And I love that. But it means to be really observant of the way people are just basically living their lives. And if you do that, you're going to notice things that you hadn't noticed before. Okay. You will not do that if you conduct a survey or a focus group. Okay. Those are very contrived, artificial ways of trying to gather information. They are very biased. They lead the witness. They constrain the conversation to just the questions I'm asking. And the questions you're asking may be actually irrelevant and not able to reveal new problems that you'd want to identify. And so there may be a good time to do a Google survey or a Survey Monkey, but don't do it in this first stage when you're trying to relax your own bias and just watch people and listen to people behaving naturally.